I don't want pay-per-view. I don't want you to pay for this entertainment. There's too much world-class athletic entertainment for free. I want all of America to see me. I didn't have HBO growing up. I didn't have Showtime growing up. And if you have HBO and you have Showtime and they make it pay-per-view, now you gotta come out your pocket some more. I'm not trying to gouge the American people and the American public. I want to get everybody on my side. I want everybody to have an opportunity and a chance to witness one time. And I want boxing to come back to the forefront of network television. And, you know, I'm going to talk about this little mandatory, you know. If I have to take this mandatory, I have to take this mandatory. So there are points in time in the fighter's career that one does not get what he wants, you know. But, since you asked, in my heart, I want an opportunity to face Danny Swift Garcia. Look, let me put it this way, right? Guerrero, father-son combination, got rid of him. Kenny Porter, Sean Porter, father-son combination, got rid of him. Okay? If you're a daddy's boy, come see me, boy. All right? Come on, man. Come on, man. I got this. I got this. Okay? All day, every day.
Danny Swift Garcia versus Keith. Better not duck me, Thun. One time Thurman. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. Some of my thoughts, some original series and segments, some interviews. We do it all. Now, this is a fight that I'm looking forward to. In fact, I think out of all the fights, there's some good fights for 2017. Triple G, Jacobs, Joshua, Klitschko, James DeGale, Badu Jack, Unification, Tank Davis, he's going after a title, Jose Pedraza. But out of all the fights that have actually been announced, I think the one that I'm looking forward to is the fight where somebody's gotta go, right? And that's Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. I already did promptly a Boxing Ego first look, tail of the tape. So I kind of break down some of the vital stats and the attributes of both fighters physically. Make sure you guys check that out. Over 100,000, and the fight's a couple months away. And I'm just looking forward to a good fight, man. A good scrappy fight. Interesting style mesh. Keith Thurman was involved in the fight of the year type fight versus Sean Porter. Great fight. Great energy. Did good numbers on TV, on CBS, I believe it was. And people enjoyed it. I did. I definitely enjoyed it. We got to see how much each fighter had progressed since their early days sparring. There was a lot of debate on who won the sparring when the sparring got leaked. And we got to see it. Smaller gloves, more matured version of Sean Porter, more matured version of Keith Thurman. And I was in Vegas. It might have been the last. Nah, it wasn't the last time. Last time I went to Vegas was for Kovalev Ward, but the time before that, I was out in Vegas, went to the Porter gym. Shout out to the Porters. Hopefully they get a good fight next, because I know they're kind of anxious to get back in. But I was at the Porters gym in Vegas, and just one of the random questions that came about was Keith Thurman's power. Does he have true power? Sean Porter himself said, he says, I'll tell you like this, his power is as advertised. And Sean Porter's tough. He's always in dumbass shape. So coming from him, he has a chin, obviously, because he took some hellacious shots and never backed down. Never. Like, that was probably one of the most impressive things about Sean Porter, is people would have been discouraged. I mean, watch Keith Thurman versus Julio Diaz, Keith Thurman versus Jesus Soto Carrasco. When they start feeling his power, Leonard Bundu, they start switching their game plan. Sean Porter came like a tank, 12 rounds straight. You know what I'm saying? There's spots maybe where he got backed up, but he didn't really take too many steps back, and he never really was out of the fight or out on his feet or not trying, from what I've seen, which made for a fight of the year type of fight, a hellacious fight. Whatever they got salary wise, I'm sure it was over $1 million, and they both deserved it. Just a great fight. Now, I can't say the same for Danny Garcia. I like Danny Garcia, but I mean, I'm real on my channel and I'm realistic. His last fight was against Samuel Vargas, a guy Errol Spence Jr. had already stopped last year And most people haven't heard of Vargas. Most people gave Vargas no shot. So it was like a bigger version of Rod Salka. You know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of people knew the outcome. There was no ifs, ands, buts, or batter. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. He wanted a tune-up fight. He wanted to fight at home, and he wanted a good performance. Berto is too risky for that. You know what I mean? Like, you bring Berto to your home. I'm not saying Berto would have beat Garcia because I don't know. But Berto stylistically, he clearly has more to offer to make for a competitive fight than Samuel Vargas. And, I mean, if you dispute that, then unsubscribe. Don't follow me because you don't know shit about boxing. But, I mean, it's clear Berto would have been a tougher fight. I would say even John Molina. I mean, some people are going to say, oh, but Terrence Crawford did. Terrence Crawford is Terrence Crawford. He has his own frame. He has his own different promoter. He has his own style. He has his own reach. You know what I mean? So you can't. I mean, I would have picked, most people would have picked Danny Garcia, favor him over John Molina. Shout out to my dude, John Molina. But at the end of the day, Terrence Crawford and Danny Garcia don't really fight alike. I never really see Danny Garcia able to use his feet like Terrence Crawford. So you can't give Garcia credit for Terrence Crawford's game plan and stuff like that. So anyway, last fight, we all know it was a tune-up. But the reason I didn't really stress it and I wasn't really super angry, like the things in boxing that irritate me, or when guys continually backtrack or regress or fight a certain level of competition and you can't even say there's a chance or a timepiece where they weren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kell Brook. I really like Kell Brook. And see, this is the thing. I state my opinion and you guys think I hate all of these fighters because I have constructive criticism. I'm not out here calling these fighters names and out of their name and calling their mother names and stuff like that. I'm just telling you how I feel, and I can support everything that I feel. But Kell Brook, you stepped up, came across the pond, took on a game Sean Porter who was undefeated and a belt holder. You did the damn thing, and you discouraged Sean Porter or used your jab and clinched and boxed him. That was a credible win, but after he regressed, leg injury, okay, you fought Jojo Dan, but then why'd you fight Kevin Bezier and Frankie Gavin? Those, I mean, just weren't good fights, you know. And then to make up for it, you did something that was kind of foolish, in my opinion. Dare to be great. Go fight Golovkin, a middleweight destroyer who's destroying middleweights. You know what I mean? Limited competition, but he's still destroying them. And you think as a welterweight, you're just going to go up there and do what these other middleweights aren't doing. You know what I'm saying? And you had success, but then you fell. You know what I mean? You fell victim to the power and size of Golovkin. So Danny Garcia, he's different though, because obviously the Rod Salka, Samuel Vargas fights, those aren't good fights to have on your resume in terms of like people are gonna give you a whole lot of credit. And then some people are gonna bring up, they call him Danny Gift Garcia and all this shit, because I think he lost to Mauricio Herrera. I actually had him beating Lamont Peterson, and I'm gonna tell you why. And again, I only watched it once live, so maybe I have to go back and revisit. I don't think he looked good in the fight, but I gave it to him because Lamont Peterson, he was super defensive and he had really no offense that of note other than maybe a jab in the first half of the fight. Like he took too long to turn it up, right? And Garcia is the undefeated fighter, so you know what I mean, people might be more influenced by the undefeated guy, the guy who's trying to push for the fight, the guy who has the more powerful shots. Now, again, Danny Garcia didn't look good to me in the Peterson fight. It was at a catch weight. Peterson had been knocked out by Lucas Matisse before and stuff like that. Peterson had a good game plan, and he looked really good in the second half. But the thing is, I don't think he was offensive enough. And I get Danny Garcia, he looked wild, and Peterson's athleticism and his elusiveness made Danny Garcia look sloppy, but he was landing some things. Some were missing, and he was whiffing and missing, partially landing, but he was pushing forward for the fight, and I didn't really see much offense at all from Lamont Peterson. So if he had sat down on a few punches and then did everything he did, or threw a couple more combinations in between, doing all the athletic, great defensive things that he was doing in the first half, he clearly would have won the fight. But the only reason, and I stand firm on this, again, maybe I have to watch it again, but the only reason I didn't give Garcia or the Peterson the fight was because the first half he he didn't really turn it up. He never really stood his ground. He is like, I'm gonna burn this guy out, make him chase me and miss, and make him look foolish and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna have really any offense. And he did that, and Danny Garcia definitely looked fatigued, and it looked like Peterson might be able to stop Garcia in them later rounds, but he didn't do enough early. And you know what I'm saying, you always leave it up to the judges when you do stuff like that. If he would have committed more in those early rounds and just won a few more of those definitively with his offense, then he clearly would have won the fight. That's just how I seen it. But nonetheless, it wasn't a good performance by Danny Garcia, right? And he didn't look good. So that is what it is. But overall, I'm realistic when it comes to this boxing thing. Danny Garcia is a good fighter. People always talk, oh, he's slow, no look left hook and all this shit. It doesn't matter if he's looking, if he has one eye open, if he has both eyes closed. If he's connecting and sleeping you with that no look hook, who cares if he's looking at your shoes, if he's looking at your girl in the ringside? It doesn't matter what he's looking at, how many eyes he has open. He could have one eye open like CBS. Yes. It doesn't matter if the end result is you getting slept. You know what I'm saying? But Amir Khan was winning the first 2 rounds. I hate when people say stuff like that. That's why I don't even like talking boxing with some of y'all. Some of y'all say stupid shit. Look at it like this. Amir Khan was blasting Danny Garcia in the first 2 rounds. His speed was on full display. His leather was cutting up Danny Garcia's face. And Amir Khan looked sharp. He looked offensive. He looked sharp. He looked good in there. But my question to you guys is this. If a fight is stopped in the 4th round, one person never has a knockdown but cuts open someone's face with fast punches and looks sharp overall in 2 rounds, but then in the second 2 rounds, the other person gets knocked down 3 times and rocked and dropped hard, especially that first one, dropped hard, and it looked like that might be it right then and there, and then they just get pounded, pause, until Kenny Bayless stops it. Which fighter would you rather be? You'd rather be the person who looked good for 2 rounds early, no knockdowns, but looked sharp, or the person who didn't look good in the first 2 rounds, but they closed the show in the 3rd and 4th round. So they split 2 rounds. That's what I'm basically saying. You know what I'm saying? And I always see people say that, but Amir Khan was getting to him. So who would you rather be? You'd rather be the person that got knocked down 3 times and was getting demolished in the 3rd and 4th round? You know what I mean? And like swaying, like he's on a boat with turbulence? Or would you rather be the person who boxed sharp for 2 rounds? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you guys say these crazy comments. I don't understand all this hate for Danny Garcia. He's a good fighter. You could say some career decisions haven't been the best, but whatever. Back to the fight at hand. Garcia Thurman. It's a good fight. It's looking like the Barclays, and that's what you guys seen in the title. I'm a West Coast dude, so I want to hate because I live in the West Coast. I live in California. I was hoping, I knew it was going to be at the Barclays, but I was hoping that it would be on the West Coast, just easier to travel. I actually never been to New York, but all the great fights in New York coming up, I feel like I have to go to it. This is definitely a great fight, Garcia Thurman. So if you guys got hookups on hotels, or let me know what hotel to stay at, good places to eat, all that good stuff, because I think I'm going to definitely try to get out to NYC. I'm from New York. I got a hundred. I'm going to try to get out there. But Garcia Thurman, great fight. You can't really ask for more. It's a good stylistic match. Both guys youthful. Both guys have power. But the thing I like is 2 guys can have power, but if they're both like sluggers and like sloppy with it with no defense, and that's cool. But then you're going to see more. I've seen both guys make adjustments in fights. So, and their styles have a lot of contrast. Keith Thurman, really athletic. He has like athletic speed and, you know what I'm saying? And he can just use his feet to get in good positions, throw from weird angles, stuff like that. Danny Garcia is a good puncher with timing, counter puncher, right? So it's just a good stylistic matchup. I'm definitely going to try to do 7 reasons. I'm not sure exactly who I'm going to pick for this particular fight because it's that type of fight. I have to really analyze a couple more things. I kind of have an idea who I'm leaning towards, but I'll save it for the 7 reasons. But it's looking like the Barclays Center, even though I'm from the West Coast, that's a good location. I was actually, the other reason I didn't know if it would happen at the Barclays is just because Danny Garcia is from Philly. And shout out to Keith Thurman for, you know what I mean, not being a diva and being willing to fight Danny Garcia closer to his home. Now, obviously, people from Florida, where Keith Thurman is from, they could still travel, but Philly's closer than Florida is to New York, to the Barclays. So Danny should be probably the crowd favorite, but you never know, because Leo Santa Cruz, I thought he would have a lot of fans in New York. I don't know why, but it was actually Carl Frampton that had it, and they booed Leo Santa Cruz and they were cheering Carl Frampton. So you never know. It's neither guy's actual hometown, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of the venue. Barclays getting it done, holding some good fights in New York in general. And I'm glad. I didn't know how this would be also with the whole legal stuff that they're doing, since MMA they passed a legislation to allow and legalize MMA in New York. It hiked up all the insurance prices and stuff. So obviously, if this fight goes down at the Barclays, it looks like they're resolving that, and they got an insurance policy or plan that's suitable for boxing without running $1 million per fighter or whatever it was. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.